Hello everybody, it's Jeff with AZCAMERA Reviews and Cheyenne, USA, and today we're going to be talking about a GVM 31-inch slider that will pan 120 degrees back and forth while it's actually sliding back and forth. So as it's sliding, it will point and keep the object in the center while it's moving, and it gives that added extra dimension to your video shots. Now in the past, I had reviewed this GVM slider, which was a 27-inch slider, and it didn't have the 120 degree pan. So I decided to get this one, and let's open up the box and let's see what's inside. Like I said, it's a 31-inch slider, and this looks like they resealed it, so we'll see what's going on inside. Open this bad boy up. They used a lot of tape. Okay, and cut the tape here. Part of the fun of getting into these things is opening up the boxes sometimes. Okay, let's open this up. Come on. Okay, we got that one. Okay, finally it's open. And let's slide the case out. And as always, it comes with a nice GVM case that the whole apparatus fits inside of. So let's open up. There's the Velcro that keeps the handles together. We'll open up the handles here, and let's undo the zippers. And I'm going to turn this around so that you can see what's going on in the case. So first, looking at this, it looks like we've got some various connection cables, and here's a close-up of the cables. Okay, then we've got another cable, which is a micro cable, some sort of a. It's less than a 3.5 millimeter. I'll have to read up on what this is, but here's a close-up of that cable. And a hex key. Here's a close-up of that. And this is a belt that they're going to use on the actual slider, and that will go in the motor. There's a remote control right here, and we'll go into programming that later. It looks like the same remote control that was on the other unit, the 27-inch. So probably what I'll end up doing is using the programming that I used on the 27-inch one, so I don't have to redo this one. Here's a connector cable that goes between the actual slider and the remote unit, and that plugs in right at the top. And let's see what else we've got. We've got one of their heavy-duty batteries. Here's a close-up of that. And we have an adapter for it, and there's a close-up of that. Then we've got something here in a plastic bag. It's a charger for the battery. Now, the battery is a 7.2 volt, 440 milliamp lithium ion, and it's an F750, NP750 style battery. It's kind of like the Sony style batteries. And then when we remove this top cover, you have the actual unit inside, and you've got a GVM instruction pamphlet. You've got a a thing about how to contact their customer service, a qualified certificate, whatever that means, and then you have the actual unit, which I'm going to pull out of the case. Now it looks like the belt is already installed on this one, and I've read in the past that you have to add the belt, but it looks like they've given us a belt with it so that if this belt wears out, you have a backup. So now that we have it unpacked and you can see what's in the box, let's try it out. Let's see how you use it. So I've got my camera set up on my slider. Now, what's going to happen is this slider will move back and forth once I start it. What I wanted to explain first, though, is this is the GVM GT60 D slider. This one's the little brother to the present slider that I have. This one's 21 inches. But the operation, as far as programming it, is the same. So as soon as I show you this demonstration, we're going to go over to how to program it, and I'm going to use the programming for this one, so I didn't have to do this one twice. So now that we got that housekeeping out of the way, by the way, the 60D does not do pans. So I'm going to start the panning on this right now so you can see how that works. So here we go. We're going to start, and you'll see the camera is moving to my left right now. Now, if the camera was to stay in a straight line, it would be moving me from side to side of the frame. I wouldn't stay in the center the way I am now. And that's the reason why it's nice to have a slider that will pan. Now, this is running at about 80% speed. And as you can see, it's keeping me totally in the middle. What I can do is I will set up a quick test just following this to show you what it looks like if you run it flat without the actual pan mode on it. Okay, now I'm going to give you an example of what it's like when you run this in the flat mode. So here we go. You'll notice that I'm changing positions in the frame, and I'm going from side to side. This is what happens when you run the camera without setting up your pan. So I'm going to let this go through one cycle so that you can see an example of what it looks like when you run it without the pan going on. So here we go. Now we're going to the extreme left side. And now you see the difference because I'm not staying in the middle of the frame. I'm going from side to side of the frame. Anyway, that will conclude this demonstration of how the slider works without utilizing the pan. Now let's go back to the regular video. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go into our settings. So we're going to go into this, and what we're going to do is we're going to go down to setting, and we're going to go into that. Okay, and then we're going to do our start. Now, just for the ease of setting this up, I'm not going to go from end to end because it's just too much trouble. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into set start, and we're going to set a start point. So now, as you can see, it's moving, and I'm going to set it just off center, and I'm going to stop it as it gets just off center, and we'll stop it right there, and that's going to be our start point. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our end point, and we're going to hit end by hitting the down arrow, and we're going to go into end, and we're going to push our left arrow to go to the end start point. And as you can see, it's counting down, and the gimbal is moving, and we're going to go to the left side of center, and we'll stop there. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to long press and press back and go into here, and now escape out, and we're going to, and it says video shot, time lapse, or setting. We're going to go into video shot, and you can either do manual mode or you can do auto mode. If you go into auto mode, what's going to happen is when you start it and you go into auto loop, it's going to go to each side, stop, and then return. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. You're just going to press it to start. And like I said, I have my speed set at 67%. It's in pause right now. And I'm going to hit B to A. So now it's going to move from the left side to the right side. It's going to hit the stop point, and then it's going to return. And it'll keep doing that. So now you can stop, okay? And now it's in pause. And like, let's say we want to get out of this, and we want to go back into video shot, and we want to go into manual mode. So what we do is we push the button once, and it'll start. Excuse me, you push it and you hold it. If you're in manual, if you hold it, it'll go to that point and it'll stop once it reaches it. And then when you hit it back the other way and you hold the button, it'll go back to the other point and it will stop. Okay, so now you can go out of that and we can go back into video shot and we can go into auto mode again if you like, and press auto mode, engage it, and go to auto stop. So now when I push the button to engage it, it'll reach the end point and then it'll just stop. So here we go. So this is how this slider works. I really like it. It's just as easy to program as the other slider was. It's all made out of aluminum. The one difference, though, that I want to tell you is the 60D, the motor is on this side, and it's a continuous belt. Whereas that is a single belt, and the motor is mounted right underneath the camera lens. Here's a shot of it real quick. Anyway, that's it from here. I'm Jeff with AZ Camera Reviews saying, please watch us, please like us, and please subscribe. Oh, and don't forget to share us too. I forgot that. Anyway, stay tuned to the very end. I have one blooper I'm going to be sharing with you. Until next time, like I said, Jeff with AZ Camera Reviews. Bye-bye. So I'm going to sit here for a couple of seconds so you guys can see what it looks like when the camera is moving and I'm talking. Now, I'm running this at a 60% speed, And right now it's coming to the stop on my left-hand side, and it's coming up there now, and it's just about to stop and return. Okay. I know this may be a little boring for some of you folks, but whoa! That was not good. It was not good at all, but it was a good first run.